know, as you go into adulthood, you learn.
Yeah, so okay, apparently that guy knows I'm streaming and he just doesn't like me, so whatever. Dealt with. We're good. We're chilling.
You ban them from your
Law and Order with Aegis. Dun dun.
Yeah, I'm in Canada. I mean, that's kind of obvious. It's literally on my Twitch. It says I'm in Canada. That's not a dox. This guy's like, I'm
Don't
gonna
sound like a Canadian.
no.
yo.
This guy's like, I'm gonna dox you. I'm gonna dox you. I'm gonna tell everybody on stream you're Canadian. Like, I literally say that all the time. It's public information. It's literally on my Twitch. It says it's from Canada.
But do they know you're Caucasian?
Question: what does doxing mean? I'm
It
sorry.
means exposing somebody else's personal information in public on
with a deviant
Oh.
nature. So
I haven't heard that term, but
well, now you know.
I know what that means.
Doxing is it's like an internet phenomenon type thing.
you know what?
It's like,
you know what I don't get
it's
about
like
that though.
exposing, basically.
Is so Twitch has this thing where you can't, and this in their rules, their EULA, where you can't post your public address. But I don't understand this. People in the local news will pan around town, or a local business is at X address, and you know where it's at, and you can look it up.
Yeah.
So why does posting your address mean fucking diddly shit? If someone finds you, so what?
I mean, it's about it's like it's kind of like a
Just
safety
safety
thing. Yeah, it's just like a
reasons.
safety thing. You know, not everybody's. It is in
It's
some sense. In some
understandable.
sense, it's like so what? Because most of these pussies on the internet who are like posting each other's addresses and like
whoa, sir!
what
I can't say
they
that.
are, dude. They are. No. Look.
Whoa,
Most of these
can't
people on the
just
internet who
slap
like
them.
post other people's addresses, they ain't shit in real life. Like you run up to them in real life, they're gonna back down crying to their mother. Like I'm telling you. But like, so in some sense, it's like not a big deal. But like
Should these words be coming from God?
but at the same time, it's like
go back to sleep.
at the same time, it's like why would you allow someone to be subjected to themselves? Like why would you allow someone to be subjected to that? Like nobody wants to live in fear. Nobody wants that kind of threat. Even if it's an empty threat, it's like nobody wants that. So like, yeah. Also, I said that really loudly. I'm pretty sure the people upstairs heard me too.
In your parents?
But seriously, yeah, like I'm going off on this, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
like-
those people. Oh no, my $30.
There goes your.
What I love about
3,000 views and
Aegis is
your
he's
$40.
doing this out of the goodness of his heart, and that's what I like about him.
I mean, yeah,
No, he's funding himself a new PC. Don't bullshit.
bro, I
just
can
kidding.
definitely afford a new PC. It's not. This is not a fundraiser.
Oh,
Aegis is the
Well, he's a
B550M
really
Pro
kind of
VDH Wi-Fi
genuine
good.
person all around, though.
Yeah, the B550M
guy-
Pro VDH Wi-Fi is good. My fan is clashing with my RAM sticks, and I don't know what to do. It won't fit side to side. Lift your fan. You can push it up on most air coolers. So would you suggest that I get 3,000 instead of 3,200 RAM? If it's like $50 instead of 60, yeah. I began to buy parts now, still haven't made a purchase yet, but I feel like everything will go out of stock on Black Friday. That's why you don't wait until the day of Black Friday. Wait for like a few days before Black Friday, because then you'll get essentially the same sales, but you're not going to be in the same, horde of web traffic that most people are on. But
Is
I heard
Jalen
AMD
in this
GPU
voice
isn't good for machine learning. That's strictly application support. Like machine learning, yeah, if AMD implements something on like Navi 20 that we don't know about, that's like an analog to tensor cores, then maybe they'll recover in machine learning. But in most machine learning applications, yeah, NVIDIA GPUs are just much better. Yeah. Is the
Will you buy
Rockstrix
GPU, right?
B450F good? It's a fine board, but it's not worth buying at its normal price. Yeah. Who in your opinion is the most overrated rapper in recent memory? I don't think I have one. Okay, I do think of J. Cole as kind of overrated, but
Wow.
I wouldn't say
he went triple plat, no features. Triple
Yeah,
plat, no features.
nice meme. But I don't think he's the most overrated, right? Like I don't know. Like people put J. Cole up there with Kendrick like as the two like Zoomer conscious rappers, but like I really don't see J. Cole as being anywhere near as good as Kendrick.
I think Joey is closer to Kendrick than J. Cole is to Kendrick, honestly.
Who's Joey Badass?
Yeah, Joey Badass.
Honestly, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Although Joey's like never in that conversation for some reason. Yeah.
Cause he took a break for 3 years like Kendrick, and he dropped like 4 songs.
Bro, 1999 is good shit. Good shit.
Nah, I mean AABA to now.
Yeah. I'm getting it for $100. Is that good? It's just fine. For $100, I'd much rather take the B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. 6ix9ine isn't even really he's not really a rapper in the way that most other rappers are. He's more like he's like internet meme first, rapper / screamer second. King of New York, baby. Yeah, sure. How often does the 3080 Founders Edition come in stock? Whenever retailers get their orders in. Like people keep asking me like, yo, when is this
Advanced
GPU?
edition.
When are all the 3080s going to come back in stock? As if like Nvidia just snaps their fingers and one day all the retailers have 3080s. It's like
He's like Thanos.
it's in
like
batches.
Thanos.
It's like it happens over time. Like I don't know when exactly it's going to happen.
I think it's about a 6-month projection, to be honest.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we're probably
Happened
not going
3
to see a
times
load of
this week.
stock till fucking March.
Nvidia's CEO has said that they're not going to get regular supply situation until at least early next year. So if you want to be extra safe, I guess you can wait that long. But if you're diligent and you follow like in stock tracking discords, you know, you check you have pings enabled and stuff like that, I'm sure you can get one within a couple of weeks. Like that's reasonable. I'm not saying if you track that you're going to get one right away, but you know, if you follow the methods like using Discord, it's reasonable that you get one before next year. Can you check out my build and say what you think? Okay, I will do that. Hold on. Did Worm do? Hold on. I hope those two guys got banned. 1 second.
They did.
Okay.
Hold
nice,
on, guys.
nice,
I'm gonna
nice.
send 2 pictures in chat of my cats, and I'm gonna send a question of them.
Okay, sounds good. I like cats. Hello,
What's a
I'm in.
cat?
Crewmate.
What's a cat?
Because you said I should wait for AMD GPU. Anyways, is it possible for you to fix the list? Yeah, I can talk about your list, but I'm not gonna suggest buying right now. Is 2900 megabytes per second read good for an NVMe SSD? Yeah, that's kind of up there, I guess. I mean, I guess now you have drives that can do like, you know, 7000 or whatever, but yeah, like high read and write speeds for like sequentials don't really matter. Just in general, especially read speeds. Like, why do you care about fast read speeds? Like, that's such
You're
a
copying off the drive, booting the drive, using the data off the drive,
okay. No,
scrubbing
no, no, no,
4K
no. Okay,
video.
okay. High. Okay, I should say deep queue, sequential read speeds. Like, why do those matter to you? Because that's such a rare use case. Like, and even in the people that should care about that, it's such like it's even uncommon in those use cases. Like,
Everyone's complimenting the cats.
do you like cats? These are my cats, Belle and is it Augie?
Augie.
Augie. All right,
Augie.
let me
The
see.
lower
What-
picture. The
Aw,
lower
that's
picture
cute.
is
Little furball. He's
the
cute.
lower picture is Belle. She's a girl, and the upper one's Augie. They're
They kind of look
silver
like
temptation
they
Persians.
kind of look like Grumpy Cat, but like cuter.
No, you know what they look like? Snowbell from Stuart Little.
Kinda. Should I join the stream to see? If you want. I
can.
mean, if you want a visual aid, but it's gonna be 10 seconds delayed, so either deafen here or like I don't know. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be out of sync. Q&A. How long do
Why
you
do
take?
you do such a long delay?
I have a 10-second
Sorry.
delay in case you know, people like those dudes show up.
Oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I never thought about
It used
that.
to be 20 seconds, but 10 seconds is enough for my reaction time to server mute them and then stop streaming. Q&A, how long do you think it will take for the 3000 series to go out of relevancy? I'm bored, lol, sorry. When you say relevance, you mean like, you know, hey, this GPU should not be in any PC builds, period, and you can't be used, and you should just buy a new GPU it's worth upgrading from? Or do you mean like we're not going to recommend them anymore as new GPU purchases? Like, what do you mean by relevance? Because I can answer both, but yeah, like specify what you
Hey,
mean.
cat. Cat.
Crewmate, I'll talk about your list if you want. So crewmate, just to be clear, I do suggest coming back in 2 to 3 weeks. So any feedback that I give to you right now is just going to be for like your own knowledge and purposes. It's not going to be that useful to you. Besides just like, you know, learning why certain parts are not good at this time. No, I mean like 2080 Ti is kind of not relevant. So you mean new purchases then? So like you mean like we don't recommend them new anymore? Is that what you mean? Because the 2080 Ti is still certainly relevant in terms of like if you have it in your PC, it's not a bad GPU. Like most people who have a 2080 Ti don't really have a reason to upgrade. Hi, so I'm opting to pay a small premium to get the 3970X because 3960X wouldn't arrive on time. Cool. Really quiet static pressure fans for 120, 140. Why, do you have a radiator? Why static pressure? Okay.
No, I'm just dropping lingo I don't fucking understand.
Oh,
just,
cool.
It's for the case.
Okay. You don't care about RGB, right?
People.
No, ideally matte black, something really incognito.
Okay,
Maybe something that could work for Noctua UHS 12 too, because I'm gonna probably end up hitting the brown eventually.
Get Arctic P12s. Get Arctic P12
Just get
PWM.
Chromax.
Get a nice big pack of those. P12s are literally better than almost every Noctua Chromax fan. I don't think there's any exceptions to that rule actually. Yeah. Is there? Hold on.
What's so bad about Noctua Chromax fan?
Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, they're expensive and they're worse than P12s, but they're not bad, I guess.
Cite your source.
Noise normalized testing from, what was that German source that Celica keeps sending to me? I think it's like computer based, maybe.
Why
think it
do
might be
we care about
computer-based.
noise normalized?
So the best way to do fan testing is noise normalized within a laminar flow based tube and using an anemometer.
Bro, you should be
So
doing.
not in real world testing.
What?
Well, no,
Right.
that is actually real world testing. You're literally testing the amount of air that a fan moves at a certain noise level, and comparing directly to other fans in an isolated environment. That's like the best way to test fans. So,
But shouldn't it be turbulent?
sorry?
You said laminar,
Yeah, laminar flow.
but fans aren't laminar. Look.
No, they're really not.
Okay, yeah, they're not laminar, but the reason why we straighten out the flow is to make things equal, because if you have some fans that are producing like a wider flow of air, not all of that air is going to hit the anemometer. So we straighten it so that it's equal for every fan, because an anemometer can't detect airflow over like a really large range, just like
Well,
kind of
it
a small
can.
range. Well, okay. Or consumer anemometers cannot detect airflow over that large range. I mean, if you have a pretty close distance between the fan and the anemometer, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to use laminar flow, but it's just more accurate that way. It's more fair. So
If
yeah.
I have a choice between 120 and 140, should I just go 140?
If your case supports them, then yeah, go for it. Sure. 140 mil fans are more effective than 120 mil fans from the same model typically. What is a good
Okay.
CPU for 3080 Founders Edition? I don't recommend that you buy a 3080 Founders Edition, but let's say you already have one and you
Why?
either have a new revision or you've pad modded it so the RAM doesn't cook itself, then 5600X,
I still never saw a source. by the way.
5600X, or 3600, depending on what resolution you're playing at. What are those Cooler Master Sickle Flow fans and why are they so bad? They're not actually that bad given what they cost in some countries, but like they're just, you
No,
know,
they-
generic
they
sleeve
go to
bearing.
shit so quick.
RGB look ugly. It's not RGB. It's actually there are sickle flow RGBs,
LED.
but I don't know. It has like this weird clear plasticky look, like the 212 Evo fan kind of looks like that. Why is the 3080 Founders Edition bad? Because not only is it worse in thermals and noise than every other 3080 model I've seen, and I've seen like probably
It
30 of them.
literally will kill itself.
Yeah, it will literally kill itself within 2 years, given its VRAM temperatures. Yeah.
I haven't seen a.
Yeah, I still have to ask for like the internal GDDR5 datasheet for like the table on that, but the source that I have, I believe them. I believe them.
What source?
Just people in the
Yeah,
XOC
yeah.
community that spend too much time looking at datasheets. Sometimes those people are dumb and sometimes they're smart though. So like, it's a smart person that's looking at those things. Since the 3080 Founders Edition is bad, which one should I use? Literally any other 3080. I haven't seen any 3080 that's genuinely bad like the Founders Edition is. Yeah, like literally any other 3080. Like Trinity, not that good, but I'll take it. Like the thing about the 3080 is that you kind of get whatever you can get your hands on besides Founders because they're just so unavailable. If you had everything available, I'd say tough, you know, like everybody else says. But just get what you can, honestly. Trinity, colorful model, a PNY model.
What about for 3070s?
3070, the Founders is fine. Yeah.
But Thunder said that the 3070 FE was also garbage.
Well, it's not.
Whoa.
It's not like unusable. Like, it's not like bad like the 3080 Founders is. Like here's the thing about the Founders editions. It's like they're all almost all the worst out of all the designs except the 3090. The 3090
No.
Founders is actually pretty good, but 3070 and 3080 Founders are all like the worst ones out of all the cooler models. At least the 3070 Founders, you don't have the VRAM temp problem, and it's closer to the rest of the models. Like the difference between a 3070 Founders and like a Tough is not as big as the difference between like a 3080 Founders and a 3080 Tough. So, yeah. I'm like completely okay with people getting 3070 founders, especially because it's a hard card to get. But 3080 founders is sus. I came with Scythe Mugen 5. Yeah, you can just move your fan up. Or doesn't it? No, that's a single fan cooler. Yeah, you can move your fan up. Is the 9700K good enough CPU for 3070 founders? Yeah, the 9700K,
Sure.
there are 0 CPUs right now that are available that will beat the 9700K in gaming by any significant margin. Can you go back to mine and give me advice? It's your other tab. Thanks. Oh yeah, my bad. I will actually look at your list. And that crewmate guy, he left. Okay, good. So not good, but like easier for me. Which one is your list? This is this one, right? Okay. So, okay, I'm just going to run through this really quickly. 212 Evo, drop that out. Stock cooler is enough for 5600X. Motherboard, good choice, but not available right now for some reason. Oh, no, it's because I have... Sorry, one sec. I must have Amazon only filtered. Yeah, that's why.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, what, you deleted the list? For a moment. Yeah, Carter, send me a new list. You deleted it, I think.
There's no P12 140mm, right? So it just I might
It's
as well get
P14.
120s.
They're called P14s. Yeah, the 12 actually comes from it being 12 centimeters long.
I'm dumb. Okay, P14s.
Okay. Jin, do you have any recommendations for case fans? Are you?
Yeah, that's old.
Oh, that's
old.
you. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
You trying to answer my question? Who is you? Who is me? Who am I? Who is everything? I already answered your question. Okay, you're Rico. Got you. Cool, my dudes. Epic.
Think I'm gonna appreciate the difference between a 3960 and a 3970, or am I just gonna be blowing money out of the
You're
water?
probably not going to appreciate the difference, but if you'd rather have it sooner, because you're doing this like kind of time urgently anyways, so you may as well. Yeah, you may as well get it. It's fine.
Fuck it. It's my birthday.
Yeah, 3960X is actually a really great processor, by the way. It's really nice.
I hope so for the price.
Yeah, for sure. But it is really great. Dude, honestly, I don't know if it's worth streaming on YouTube. Like,
It's not. For sure.
maybe I should have started on YouTube instead of starting on Twitch.
Never did.
Because I feel like YouTube's system is better. Because there's like Super Chat. Super Chat is like super good for stuff like this. Because like, you know, I don't know, whatever.
No.
Are you saying you want more money?
No,
That's
like
what he's saying.
people can still donate on Twitch, but I feel like Super Chat is like, it just makes so much more sense for like a Q&A type stream. Like if you have a question, you can use Super Chat. It's like, it just
mean
makes, it just logically
David
makes more sense to me.
Ask you a question. So you said.
When I went
Do
to
I
edit
need
my
the-
list, I saw 3080 Strix, 3080 Strix, or 3080 Tough. Maybe one of them was a Strix OC instead of the Strix. So yeah, anyways, get the Tough because it's probably cheaper.
Did I get any thermal paste, or is it Noctua stock thermal paste fine?
It's fine. These package
Okay.
NTH1 with their coolers. Probably NTH2 by now, but every Noctua cooler I've used comes with NTH1.
All right, sounds good. Pulling the trigger.
Cool. Actually, I'm going to... I have a Noctua cooler box right now, and I can tell you.
Oh, ages, those so cool.
Can you put P14s onto the Noctua cooler? Or is that kind of a
Yes, but it's a waste. Use the ones that come with it.
Oh, Jin has a cool mic.
Thanks.
Even if it doesn't, there's probably...
Pretty good.
Okay. L9A AM4. Let's look at what paste comes with this thing.
NTH1.
No, I'm just checking. Yeah, it is NTH1. Okay, good. So they haven't switched to
I know.
NTH2
I
yet then.
fitted one about a month ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got this like about a month ago too. So they haven't switched to NTH2 yet. I was AFK. Sorry, are you done with the list, by the way? Oh, I thought you would. I thought you left because I told you to come back like in 2 to 3 weeks. So I thought you were like, okay, I'll come back. But if you want, I can talk about your list. Give me a second. Does this look fine? Let me see. One sec. Yeah.
All right, see you later,
that
Aegis.
looks
Thanks for
okay.
your help.
See you, dude. Yeah, that looks fine. Nothing wrong with that. Hello, Rice Days. Oh wow, look, he has so many fans. Haha, get it, fans?
Only
Lol. Gamer moment in chat. Hey, at least Aegis gets my joke, okay? He accepts me for who I am. Dr. Spaceman has more fans than him. We got popularity contest going on.
my planning box away. So many fucking boxes on my desk, dude. Oh my
Loud
god.
ass bit.
How's the Revy overclock? I haven't been tweaking my RAM recently.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
back in 2016 when Logan and Jake Paul were popular, and they made this one Vine where like this fan was talking.
Sure, I don't want to hear about
I'm
this.
your biggest fan.
So-
And they
Yo,
just
what's
give
up,
him
Aegis, my
like,
boy?
"Oh."
What's up, dude?
What's good?
Okay.
Hi,
Crewmate, I'll go
2X
over your
NVIDIA,
list.
RTX Titan. I don't know exactly what it's called.
He's trying to tag me, but he's tagged the wrong person twice. I appreciate the effort. He's going through the motions. He's trying his best. That's all that matters. All right, let's go over your list.
In these tough times.
Guys,
I started learning about PCs tonight.
Let's
so
look
Aegis,
at
I
your
know a
list.
lot about it already. I know the 7 main components.
Nice job. Good job,
I'm proud of
dude.
myself.
Hold on.
Yo, Aegis.
Hi.
Aegis, you want to see my chode?
I don't know.
Oh, baby.
No, no.
Yo,
I don't think
quick
I
question,
will.
quick question, quick question, quick question.
Guys, NSFW
Okay,
freaking
alright.
content on freaking.
Boys, let's relax.
Please.
Bro, a
no
girl making a
roast.
deep voice is like a fucking dwarf fucking getting
All
tall. Like,
right,
fuck out.
guys, let's chill here. Let's keep it on
Oh.
topic. Is
Oh,
buying
yeah.
Keep it
parts
on topic.
in
Good job,
person
Aegis.
or pick up
Yeah.
better than getting shipping? Depends on the.
Quick question.
Okay, guys, can you give me a sec? I gotta answer some of these guys.
Of course.
Is buying parts in person or pickup better than getting shipping? Depends on prices and depends on where you live. Sometimes there are countries that have really good physical stores, like Canada and the US have pretty good physical stores for buying parts. But then if you live in like India, that might be a different story. Hey, Mr. Vishnu IT, what's up, dude? Okay, let's go. Okay, I'll look at your list, crewmate. So,
Hello.
hi. How do I get Amazon to actually ship shit to my door instead of finding consistent ways to ship it to another state?
It's happened so many times.
Use Amazon
Oh, Justin.
Locker or
Wait,
get a
Aegis.
use Amazon Locker or get a PO box.
All right.
Guys, please
Amazon
don't listen to
Locker?
Aegis.
I
He has a
never
3
heard
on
of
AP
that.
English Lit. Dude, I'm so
Aegis.
mad about that. Okay, that's my friend. He's making fun of me for getting a 3 on AP Lit, and I'm so mad about that. It was so stupid. My essay was actually good, and they gave me a fucking 3. I'm actually so mad. I got a 5 on
apparently
Lang.
wasn't that
Like,
good.
come on, that's some bullshit.
Clearly, it wasn't.
Aegis.
Yeah, one sec, dude. I'm like backed up with builds right now. I'll answer you in a little bit. Okay, so
Okay.
crewmate, 5900X. Okay, the thing about machine learning applications is that a lot of them are like kind of specific. So you may not need a 5900X for machine learning. It may not even benefit you. Like a lot of machine learning is very GPU heavy. So like, yeah, I don't know whether a 5900X is appropriate. I'm sure even if it isn't, like it's still a good CPU. So I can't fault you too much for this. D15 Chromax, kind of unnecessary. You could definitely, squeak by on like a Fuma 2 or an even lower end air cooler on a 5900X. Zen 3 is looking very power efficient, so temperatures are pretty good. I don't think you need a D15 Chromax. B550 Aorus Elite AX, I don't have too much of a big deal with this. Like you could replace it with a B550 and Pro VDH Wi-Fi and be fine, but if you want an ATX board, this is fine. It's fine. 64 gigs of RAM. Yeah, for machine learning, again, it's kind of a question mark. A lot of machine learning is done like purely in VRAM. So how much RAM you need is entirely dependent on like what your application looks like. Also, you only have 4 DIMMs on this consumer platform, so maybe consider getting 2 32 gig DIMMs if you're considering maybe going to 128 gigs in the future. Yeah, I wouldn't get a Western Digital black drive for 150 here. Just don't. You can get like an 8 terabyte drive of that size for like even less money. So yeah, I wouldn't get a Western Digital black hard drive these days. SN750 is a good SSD, but certainly not worth $155. Machine learning isn't that storage intensive typically because you want your models to fit within your GPU's VRAM or within your RAM. So the reliance on fast storage is just not really there most of the time. So I'm gonna say yeah, talk to me about the SSD later because there's new SSDs coming out. So it's just not going to be an SN750. That's what I'll tell you. 3080 Ventus, that's fine for machine learning. Meshify C, it's a good case, but it's not really worth $90. There are better cases out there that are cheaper. This is extremely overpriced for a 750 watt unit. There are really good 850 watt units for like 130 right now, and if you want over that, there's like 1000 watt units for like 160, 170 or so. Windows, don't buy Fractal fans like post market. Don't do that. You know, keeping Fractal fans if you have a case that comes with them is fine, but Fractal fans are not very good, especially given how much they cost. Yeah, replace these with like P12s or F12s. Why are you getting a 1080p 60 hertz monitor? Even as a secondary, this is just not a good monitor choice. There are like 1080p 75 VA/IPS FreeSync panels that are better than this, so I wouldn't get that. And these seem kind of cheap for an ultra wide actually. I think you should be spending more possibly. MK120, dude, your budget is really high. Spend more on your peripherals. These are dog shit peripherals, dude. Like actually spend more. Like you have a lot of money. Like a lot of people underrate peripherals and how much they affect. Like, okay, the whole point of you spending more on your PC is so you're happier with your PC, right? You get more satisfaction out of it. And like a lot of people underrate how much satisfaction you get out of peripherals. So like, I don't know, at least get a budget mechanical keyboard. Definitely get a better mouse, especially if you're gaming on this build. Get better audio. You get like you can easily afford separate headphones and mic here by cutting back on unnecessary shit over here. Get better speakers. Webcam, questionable. And then I guess the USB is for installing Windows, but like, yeah, just questionable decisions all around. Thank you, Lucas, for the follow. I was wondering if you could help me after. Yeah, sure. I have to deal with a couple people's lists, but I can help you in a bit. Just casual build. 1TB Barracuda. 1TB hard drives are irrelevant, so drop that out. Gigabyte PB series is not great. There's better budget power supply lines. 240 gig Kingston. I'm assuming that's an A400. A400 is ass. 1063 gig is not a relevant GPU these days, even in India. It should be like a 570, 580, 1650 Super, 5500 XT, something like that. 8 gigs of RAM. I hope that's 2x4, not 1x8. And B550, don't get a B550 board for Ryzen 3 3100. It's completely useless. Okay. All right, let me read through here. Here's the list. I accidentally deleted it. Sorry. All right, let's look at your list. Build for Aegis. Nice. Where's your GPU? You're waiting for, okay, you're waiting for a 6800. So I would suggest coming back in 2 to 3 weeks and I'll help you with your list with the 6800 if it's worth buying at that time. Just some basic feedback on the list though. If you're playing at 1440p, you could get a 3600 instead or a 10400 if those drop enough in price. Motherboard is a good board, but you might want to switch it depending on what CPU you end up getting and whether or not you need Wi-Fi. For a 16 gig kit of 3200C16 RGB RAM, this is like $20 overpriced. It should be like $65, $60, so not that. SN550 is a good SSD, but not worth 105. I'd say like P2 or something else around that price. MB511 is not really worth buying at $80 for like just the case. I'd look at Neo Air or something similar to that. Jesus, what the fuck was that? And then RM750X is not worth 135. There's 850 watt units that are like the same price and are the same platform. Hello.
ASMR Kenna.
Okay, let me keep scrolling down.
Need you to help somebody.
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll down and help people. Unless they don't have a message. If they don't have a
just
message,
be
then
patient. He'll get to people, don't worry.
yeah.
He has a lot of people to go through.
My GPU is underperforming. I have a 2070 Super and 9600K, which are known to bottleneck. Those two are not known to bottleneck. I also have an old power supply with 650 watts. Okay, hit up the troubleshooting channel and give them the information you just gave to me. A 2070 Super and a 9600K should not be struggling in any game, and typically that's not a bottleneck. A 9600K is close to being the best gaming CPU available right now. It might be 6-core 6-thread, it might not have HT, but it's still Coffee Lake refresh, and it's still pretty high clock speeds, so you shouldn't be having any issues. Sorry, what did you say? Why don't you like Polo? Oh yeah, Sod hates when people interrupt me. That's true. Yeah, a lot of people do that. And this fucking knob just kept butting. Actually, so true. Not sure if I asked this before, but I've been told that I shouldn't get a CPU cooler if I'm not going to overclock. Is that true? Also, what is a good AMD CPU for a 3080 TUF? Even if you are going to overclock, some CPUs, their stock coolers are enough. And even if you aren't going to overclock, some CPUs either don't come with a stock cooler or their stock cooler is not good enough. For example, the 10900, I would get an aftermarket cooler for that. So yeah, it really depends. It's not like one size fits all. Not all stock coolers are the same, not all CPUs are the same, and not all overclocking is the same. So it really depends. What is a good AMD CPU for 3080 TUF? Again, I said 3600 or 5600X, depending on what resolution and targets you have. If you're playing at 1440p, which you should be, but you're playing like high settings AAA games, then 3600 is appropriate. If you're playing low settings and you're trying to really max out like frames, then maybe consider a 5600X. Based on how awake and hyper you sound, I want to know how much G Fuel you go through in a month usually. Look, I'm just like pressured because like a lot of people are asking me questions and I'm like trying to like power through them. Like, you gotta fucking talk fast, bro.
I
think you're
trying to
famous.
joke around. I just didn't know.
It's a titanium unit, that's why it's expensive.
I guess you're famous.
Thanks, bro. It's a titanium
Yeah.
unit, that's why it's expensive. No, that's not why it's expensive. It's expensive because it's overpriced and it's just Seasonic being a shitter. Like, don't. There are titanium units that are cheaper. And also, being a titanium unit
A
doesn't
shitter.
mean it's worth buying, okay? So
Cough.
almost
Silverstone Strider Titanium.
almost
Cough.
nobody should be buying a titanium unit in the server. Even if you want high wattage,
Seasonic is dog shit.
not all of it's dog shit, some of it's dog shit. But look, even if you want like a 1600, 2000 watt unit, there are gold units up there that are very good. That you don't need to spend like to get a titanium unit. The only time you get a titanium unit is just you have like all the money in the world and you're just like, you know, saying like fuck it. My GPU is underperforming, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I already said that. This is a secondary monitor for portrait mode to write lines. Yeah, there are better, cheaper monitors for portrait mode if you're gonna do that. The USB is to flash motherboard BIOS. Okay, I would assume you already have a USB, but okay. Hey, I have planned to buy the PC for next week. Can you help me with it? I'm looking for 140 FPS in Warzone at 1080p resolution. My budget is 850. Next week? Yeah, all right, then hit me up next week. I'll help you with the list when you're buying. Also, I've definitely told you that before. I recognize your profile picture. Like, I've 100% told you that before. Oh, he's gone. Never mind. Cool. Not sure if I asked this before, but okay, I already answered that. You know, why are you whispering? Something. When are you gonna learn type faster than you talk? I talk at about like 300 WPM, so like, I don't think that's physically possible. Is this a good build for 1080p gaming? Not buying now. Let's take a look. Is it a good build? Let's take a fucking look. That was oddly aggressive. Not really. It's just okay. You could do better. It's just okay. Also, weird choices given you're doing 1080p 240. But yeah, it's just okay. So I should not be having issues with, yeah, the hardware is not the issue here. The 9600K and 2070 Super, it's not their fault, okay? Something else is wrong. How often are you on? So when I'm definitely buying, I know when to ask. Usually once a day. I usually start stream at like 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific. Actually, no, I usually start stream at like 7:30. I usually go into a voice call, and then once I have collected enough people, then I start streaming, because then the channel gets full. So then people who want to like leave early or like that get bounced because they can't get in, they can watch the stream. Do you have any idea what the issue could be? Nope, no idea. In terms of power, what minimum GPU would you recommend for 1440p? What would be the sweet spot? And what would be the upper limit or perhaps overkill? Lower limits are a lot harder to define than upper limits, because at 1440p, there is no upper limit. Like, there are games where there is not a single GPU on this planet that can get 1440p 144 max settings. Like some of the Assassin's Creed titles, for example. So like, yeah, there's no upper limit really. I guess a 3080, because I wouldn't get a 3090 for gaming in general. So a 3080 would be the upper limit. And lower limit is like, for what though? Like 1440p Minecraft, 1440p, I don't know, like GTA 5, 1440p Far Cry 5, 1440p Dirt 2. Like, what are we talking? What settings? What FPS? Can you spec your PC? Yeah, I have a 3400. How many do you have? One. Well, I have like two, but I don't use the other one. Well, I mean, we have a lot of PCs in the shop, but like they're kind of mine, but also not mine. Whatever. How often? Okay, wait. Do you have any idea what the issue could be? I'm playing at 1080p. No idea. Far too much. True. Coming into the server tonight, I didn't know anything about building a PC, and I didn't know if anyone would be willing to help me. Now I know more than I did when I first joined your server. Seeing you do this out of the goodness of your heart, made me from bad to best. I hope you stay healthy and loved ones. Thanks, dude. Hella wholesome. What the fuck? That is so wholesome.
Love you, man. Have a good night. Along with the rest of the people in the server, we love you guys.
Yeah, dude. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Yep. I'll be sure to stop by tomorrow. I'll try to my best.
I've been stuck around long enough and almost get P-roll.
Have a good night, Aegis.
I did.
Sleep well. Catch some Z's. Good night, guys.
Yo, Ryujin, you're gonna blow his fucking mind when he realizes that AX200 can also be renamed to AX3000. You're gonna blow his mind. He's gonna be like, wait, 3000 is bigger than 1900?
Bro, I got scanned.
He's gonna have a stroke.
AX200 is slower than AC1300, bro.
He's gonna have
I
a
got
fucking
scanned.
stroke, dude. Oh my god. It's mostly just parrots and morons asking for lists in 55 months time. Facts. Big facts.
100.
Well, he said AC1300. That's even worse. Oh my god.
Yep. That's the first day he joined too. First day he posted. Remember when he said 5700 over 5700 XT? I need it.
Oh my god, Saw just pings me in every channel. Oh my god. Okay, do we have anything to talk about today besides build help? I mean, is there anything in the tech news? Let's take a look. Tech news.
Nope.
Elgato.
AMD releases new driver update that I can't use because otherwise.
Wait, did you see the new GMMK Pro yet? Aegis?
Yeah, I did see that. Why not PCI Gen 4 SSD? Good question.
Waste of money.
Yeah, that's the basics of it. So, here's the thing.
Also, PCI Gen 4 is in its baby steps, and the baby steps are garbage.
Okay.
Some PCI 3
Here,
SSD.
I will draw this so you understand. Okay. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Let me make the font bigger. Let me change this to like, I don't know, fucking Open Sans. Why did that fucking delete? Open Sans, regular. Okay, there we go. So we have PCI 3.0.
Bare bones for $170.
I mean, it is a much upgraded version of the GMMK, so it kind of deserves to be priced there. Anyway, so you have PCI 3.0 and PCI 4.0, right? So like, here's the main difference. Wait, what the fuck? Why is this not working properly? Hold on. 1 second. My Photoshop is being dumb. It's definitely not me that's being dumb. It's definitely my Photoshop. Okay. So you have PCI 3.0 versus PCI 4.0, right? So like, boop. Okay. So PCI 3.0 caps out at like 3.5 gigabytes per second, about there for like, okay, let's say X4. So okay, let's just preface this so everybody knows it's 4 lanes, okay? Because 2-lane SSDs are not that common, but you know, someone could still be a pedant. So anyways, this is the difference. This is basically the only difference between the two. So 4 lanes of PCI 4.0 versus 4 lanes of PCI 3.0. One of them 3.5 gigabytes per second. One of them is 7 gigabytes per second. So you might be like, whoa, that's really fast. It says 7. 7 is big fast. 7 is 2 times more than 3.5. That means this SSD must be twice as fast than this one, right? Well, yes, but here's the thing, right? First of all, there's a couple points I want to make here. Number one, not all PCI 4.0 SSDs can hit 7 gigabytes a second, right? So some PCI 4.0 SSDs, especially the ones that came out right after X570 came out, like the E16 drives, like I'm talking, well, let me just, all right, stop scratching the case. Okay, sorry. I'm talking like MP600, fuck, Aorus, NVMe Gen 4, like CS 4040, Rocket 4.0, like, my fucking god, sorry, I'm being really stupid. Okay, so it says not all PCI SSDs can hit 7 gigabytes a second, and these are all good examples. All of these SSDs are literally the same SSD, by the way, and they all cap out at like 5. They all cap out like 5 gigabytes per second, which is, yeah, it's faster than this, but I'll tell you why that doesn't matter.
Aegis,
so that's number one.
Sorry to interrupt, but can you go check build help Red right now?
No. Number two, that 7 gig per second mark, or even like any mark, is an up to speed. Okay, sped is an up to speed. Okay, which means that these SSDs, right? This 7 gigabytes per second number, every time you see it, you're always going to see the words up to before it, which means that this is not consistent. It's not 7 gigs per second all the time. It's probably for a very short time, if it is 7 gigs at all, okay? So that's an up to speed, which means that if you want performance consistency, you're not going to get this all the time. That's number 2. Number 3 is the even bigger reason, right? This 7 gig a second speed is sequential, all right? Sequential and also like deep queue, right? So what does this mean? Well, the word sequential literally means in order, right? It's when you have a bunch of like IO that's happening in a predictable fashion. It's happening in order. So like, for example, if you're copying one large file to another drive, that's a sequential workload because all of that data is located kind of in a row. If we're talking about LBAs, it's kind of like in the same space. So if you're transferring large files, that's maybe like the one time where even like NVMe or just PCI drives in general are relevant. Whereas like when it comes to actually understanding what makes an SSD faster, because here's the thing, right? Like benchmarks and numbers and like specs, they only matter if you actually understand what they mean, right? So what does 7 gigabytes a second in sequential time actually mean? Like, when it comes to like what a drive can speed up on your system, we're thinking like, you know, boot times or just system snappiness. So like how quickly you can open something or close something or export something or copy something. Like that's all SSD's effect, right? And sequential deep queue is so rare in actual drive usage that you're almost never going to benefit from this, right? And even if you do benefit from this, there are some PCI 3.0 SSDs that are more consistent in sequential and deep queue than PCI 4.0 SSDs. So I'll show you what I mean, right? So we talked about file transfer as one of those examples, right? I'm going to go to Tom's Hardware because they have a decent benchmark for something like this. So basically you don't need PCI Gen 4 SSDs unless you're like a pro video editor that needs really fast load times. No, you're missing the point. I'll explain what I mean. So let's go to like SSDs here. Why is this all the way at the bottom? Fucking stupid. SSDs are actually like one of the only good things on Tom's Hardware that like receives good reviews. Anyways, let's go to performance results here, right? Let's scroll all the way down. Let's go to like, yeah, look at this, right? Actually, I'll copy this into Photoshop so you can see it. I can draw in it as well. So give me a second. Oh my god, my boy Sean will be so proud of me. Anyways, so look at fuck. Don't look at fuck. Look at this. Anyways, look at this graph, right? Look at this graph. This is sustained sequential, right? Like I said, high Q depth. This is not QD1, this is QD32. So this is like the optimal scenario for like benchmark numbers, right? So this is pretty much what your SSD will look like when you're transferring a large file between two like high data rate sources. So let's say you're transferring a file between an NVMe SSD and another NVMe SSD. So you have fast speeds on both ends, read and write, right? So there's no bottleneck here. So look at some of these SSDs. So I'll point out which ones are Gen 3 and Gen 4 for you. So this one's 3, I believe. Yeah, that one's 3. This one's 3. This one's 3. This one's 4. This one's 4. This one's 4. This one's 3. This one's 3. This one's 3. This one's 4. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example, right? So first of all, file transfer being one of the only times where that high speed actually matters. Let's take a look at an SSD like the Sabrent Rocket NVMe 4.0, right? That's the orange line here, right? Look at that speed. First of all, that's not 5,000, right? It's not even 5,000. And second, it drops off a fucking cliff and goes down to like, what is this, like 500? Yeah, it goes down to like basically 500. So it's inconsistent, right? So even if you had file transfers, like look at, for example, this Samsung drive, right? Hold on. Let me pick a color that they haven't used. Yeah, like yellow, okay? Look at the Samsung drive right here, right? This is the 970 Evo Plus, right? Even though it starts off at a much lower speed than the orange drive does, so the Rocket NVMe 4.0, look at how consistent it is at a relatively high speed, right? It's at like maybe like 1,600, right? So basically what I want you to do here is compare the area of this, right? So if you've taken calculus or something before, this is like an integral, right? So compare the area under the curve here or under this line here. The size of this area is actually how much data you've actually managed to move within, I guess this is 900 seconds, right? So if we're talking about really big file transfers, this area is a lot bigger than, say, let's say like here. It's a lot bigger than this area. Hold on, let me like do that, right? You see the orange area, right? It starts out really big, but then it drops up a fucking cliff, right? So again, these are up 2 speeds. They don't have anything to do with consistency. Performance consistency is important in everything when it comes to SSDs. Consistency is something you can't really measure in like marketing terms because they always like big numbers. So like right now, the PCI Gen 4 SSD types that we have are basically there's like 4 types, okay? Not lorem ipsum, okay? You have one type, which is E16, I'll call it that. E16 is like the Rocket 4.0, the Rocket, fuck, I can't spell. The Rocket Q4 and like the MP600. Those are E16 drives, okay? Second, you have LPIS drives, which is basically just the 980 Pro, right? And then third, you have SM2267 drives, right? Fuck, I can't spell. That's like the ADATA S50 Lite, right? So you're gonna have more in the future, but literally all of these drives, right? Except maybe like the 980 Pro, literally all of these drives are less consistent overall compared to like a high-end PCI Gen 3 SSD, right? So being PCI Gen 3 or being PCI Gen 4 in an SSD does not make, like PCI 4 SSDs are not more consistent than PCI 3.0 SSDs. They just have a higher performance ceiling, okay? So I'll give you an example. Let's say you have, you know, drive A and you have like drive B, right? Drive A is PCI Gen 4. So this is the theoretical limit of PCI Gen 4. Let's say this is like 7, right? And drive 3 is like here, right? So that's the theoretical limit for drive 3, 3.5, right? Now, in reality, let's say drive 3, it starts out like at the peak here and then drops to like here and it's like this, right? And then you have drive 2 that starts out like up here, like maybe like I don't know, like here, like so 5, right? It starts here and then it crashes down really low and goes like this, right? Like which drive would you rather have, right? This drive, obviously, because it's more consistent. So all PCIe Gen 3 and Gen 4 tells you is that one of them has twice the performance ceiling, right? It's like saying a CPU under LN2 can go up to like 6 gigahertz or something, right? But in reality, is it going to hit that speed all the time? Like for example, the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X, right? It has a ceiling of like over 5 gigahertz on a single core, right? But like, is it going to hit that all the time? No, because you're always going to be loading more than a single core. It's the same thing here. It's all situational. And on top of that, ignoring sequential, right? This is already kind of rare. And I'm already showing you that even in this rare use case where PCI Gen 4 could theoretically be helpful, it's not. It's not really helpful. And the reality is most benchmarks, or sorry, like most consumer use cases are random, right? And in random performance, PCI Gen 4 does not help at all. PCI Gen 4 does literally nothing for random performance. The only reason why I tell people to wait for PCI Gen 4 SSDs is simply because they're newer. And newer SSDs have newer controllers and newer NAND. And yeah. Like any new and good controller is not going to be PCIe 3.0 because otherwise it's going to look like it's using old technology. And of course, the YouTube comments are going to be like, why are you still releasing PCIe Gen 3 high-end SSDs in like 2020? It's like, it's 2020 now, you should be using 4. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? To really drive this point home, right? You could have a drive that is like PCIe like Gen 2. You can have a Gen 2 drive. You can have a PCIe you can have a PCI 2.0 drive, right? And it could be limited to say like you know, what's half of 3.5, like 1.75 gigabytes per second. And if this drive was faster in other specifications that are not listed, right, it would still destroy every single SSD on this list that we have today, right? PCI Gen 3 and PCI Gen 4, that's not what's helpful, right? The only reason why it's worth waiting for this is because it's newer. That's all I'm saying. Okay, there you go. Long explanation for a relatively simple question, but yeah, there you go. That's what I do. Cool. Yeah, I hope that wasn't too bad, but I've just been fucking ranting. Also, one more question. How do you know all this? Did you teach yourself or do research, or did you go to school? You can't really go to school for most of this stuff. I mean, it's too consumer facing to be discussed in academia. You can go to school to learn computer engineering and learn like the fundamentals behind like how NAND and like semiconductors work and stuff like that. But most of what I'm talking about is like consumer facing stuff. So that's not stuff they like teach in school. So it would have to be self-taught. But my 125 gigs over 20 seconds. Yeah, okay, buddy. You guys have SSDs? Every modern PC should have SSDs in it. Okay, let me read this. Who cares? I'm not a rando at this point. No one gives a shit. All right, he's gonna regret saying that. Lol. I'm saying Aegis is active far too much. Yeah, I am. This is true. I don't have a life. How long has Aegis been streaming? Maybe like 4 hours now. Yeah, 4 hours maybe. About 4 hours, yeah. Is this a good list? My brain won't let me sleep without this random info. Can you rate it too? Yeah, sure. Have a good night. Yeah, you too. Yeah, let me open your list. No, this is not a good list. Every little detail, this should be changed. Are we like pretending you're buying now? PC dude lol. Okay, so give me best 3.0 SSD, SK Hynix Gold P31. Thanks, man. Do you know when the 4.0 will be available? 4.0 SSDs are already available. It's just none of them are like really mind-blowing, in my opinion. So none of them are like worth it over... Here's the thing about 4.0 SSDs. They might perform better, but all of them are going to cost significantly more than Gen 3 SSDs just because they're Gen 4. They're like newer tech, right? So they're going to have to be really fucking good to be worth buying. Because there are some pretty good Gen 3 SSDs out there right now. P31 Plat, probably in like a month or so, we'll see. So PC Dude lol, do you want me to talk about this list? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, okay. But just be aware, like, I'm obviously recommending that you come back in like 2 weeks. So this is not going to be very helpful to you because I can't really give you any specific replacements that are going to be relevant in the future. But like, do you want me to pretend that you're buying it now? Just so you get some practice in? Is that what this is? Like, if you were buying this list now, how is 2 weeks more in the future? I mean, 2 weeks from now, like typically 2 weeks is not that long of a time in the PC building world, but like in this instance in particular, there's like Black Friday and there's like a lot of stuff coming up. So a lot of things are going to change by then. But if you want, I can talk about this and pretend like you're going to be, you know, buying this today. If you want, that's up to you. And sorry for the rant. Yeah, I know that was a long rant. And thank you, Monochromish and Demon Crash for the follows. Appreciate it. If you can, that would be nice. Okay, sure. Pretending you're buying this now. The 3600 is not worth $200. You should be getting a 10400F or 10400. And then the board should be V460. Even if you wanted to go Ryzen, the B550 MA Wi-Fi is not worth buying. The B550 and Pro VDH Wi-Fi is a much more viable board. 32 gigs of RAM. If this is for gaming, cut that out. Get 16 gigs of better RAM instead of 32 gigs of slower RAM that you're not going to use. And that's assuming you're going to manually memory overclock to begin with. 2 terabyte hard drive. No, thank you. Actually, no. That's theoretically fine. Sorry, my brain was kind of going off there. A80 is a good drive, but not really relevant right now. Yeah, I would get like P2 or A60 for 1 terabyte. Thank you, Carter, for the follow. 3080 tough. I probably wouldn't do that. Actually, did I say I wouldn't do that? Yeah, my brain is like going off the fucking rails right now. Yeah, 3080 tough is fine if you can find it. But again, who knows? AMD's GPUs might end up being like really stable and good and shit. So we'll see. I would wait it out. P360A is fine if you really like how it looks, but there is the white metallic Gear Neo Air that's like cheaper and kind of the same. So I would consider that too. Get Revolution DF over this at this price. And I don't have anything against getting 2 of these monitors, but if you're getting primary, secondary, you don't need to get like a high quality monitor for your secondary monitor. So there are much cheaper 1440p 144 panels for your secondary. And for your primary, maybe get something a little bit better or look for a better price because Black Friday is going to change monitor prices a lot. J2, I want to upgrade from a 7700K. Are the new AMD CPUs or else worth jumping into? The 7700K underperforms for my streaming and gaming needs. Yeah, okay. So if you have a 7700K, first of all, I would say that's probably the last CPU, like the Like without going any further back, I mean, I guess 6700K too, but like that's the last CPU where I would say wait for DDR5. Waiting for DDR5 is worth it if you have a 7700K, because the 7700K still is pretty good. It's not like a bad performer. Hold on, let me show you an example. I believe the 8700K has like a review over here somewhere. Yeah, hold on. This is like from 2017 though. But let's see. Like let's say game test 720p. Like on average, there's an average at the bottom. Oh come on, come on. Game test part 1. Performance summary. There we go. So games at 720p, 8700K over 7700K is basically nothing. And then if you go to like I don't know, let's look for like a new review.
Are you still streaming?
Yes, I am. You go to like 10600K, right? Like where does the 8700K fall here? It's like somewhere near the top.
Tired?
No, I'm okay.
You're cracked.
No, I'm good. DDR5 like RAM? No, I mean DDR5. Yeah, I mean wait for the RAM, but wait for the CPUs that come with DDR5. I'm saying I don't think there's anything out right now that is such a big gap over the 7700K that it's worth getting now. Like I think the next big gap will be with DDR5 CPUs that support DDR5. So that's going to be AMD Zen 4 and Intel's Alder Lake.
Is DDR5 going to work on the current motherboards
No,
or
it
no?
won't.
So I have to buy a whole new motherboard?
No.
I'm not saying you should wait. I'm talking to this guy on my stream.
That's horrible.
No. If you're buying Ryzen 3000 or 5000 right now, there's no need for you to upgrade for the next 3 to 4 years. So at the end of that time, yeah, you're going to need to change your motherboard. But I like if you're a sensible person, I recommend changing your motherboard every upgrade anyways, because so far in modern CPU history, there hasn't really been a time where it's like upgrading on the same motherboard is a really good idea. I suppose you could make the argument to upgrade from like a 1600 to a 5600X, but if you have a 1600 right now, you're not really struggling that much in any games. Like it's really not that bad. So unless you're like really changing your budget all of a sudden or changing your use case, I would probably wait for DDR5 even on Zen.
Hey, guess how old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh wow, you're smart for an 18-year-old. Holy shit.
Thank you. I just like don't have a life. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think everybody in here doesn't have a life.
True. Not gonna lie, not untrue. What's a good 1080p second monitor? Anything that's like the 1080p 75 FreeSync panels. So I'll show you what I mean. Now this might change during Black Friday, but like stuff like the SB220Q BI, you know, that sort of stuff is good. So hold on. I'll show you.
Is the Corsair SSD, is that the only Gen 4 SSD?
No, there are tons of Gen 4 SSDs. Yeah, so like really any of these panels right here are like great secondary monitors. They're like $85, pretty cheap. Yeah. A 3950X on X370 Strix much. Okay, buddy. I need a really good CPU to come out. Well, there aren't really any CPUs that I would say are worth upgrading from a 7700K. Now, streaming will murder your 7700K if you stream using the 7700K. So if you have like a 1080 Ti, use NVENC on your 1080 Ti, or if you have a 20 series card, even better, use NVENC on that. So yeah, there's nothing worth jumping onto. I checked like user benchmark.
So we can't use the NVENC on the 16 cards?
Don't use user benchmark. Don't use user benchmark.
Is the are the new Ryzen processors, are they okay with streaming and gaming or no?
I don't think there's ever going to be a time in the near future that I'm going to recommend CPUs for streaming. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you just run it off of your graphics card.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much always.
What about a capture card?
If you have a capture card, yeah, you could offload your streaming workload and use CPU based, but that would involve having 2 systems, and that's an entirely different story. Most people, that's not appropriate. Yeah. I have a 1080, so I use the NVMe or whatever the one that is. Okay, so you're using NVENC. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would stick it out for a bit. If you want to upgrade to like a cheap 20 series card, like sell your 1080 and get like a, I don't know, 2060 and step up to 3000 series, you could do that. And then you would be better off with streaming as well. So I need NVIDIA to stream? Not necessarily. AMD's encoder is not awful, but if you are planning on streaming and taking it seriously, then I would probably look at an NVIDIA card. That being said, I don't know how the new RX 6000 encoder works. Like it's VCN 3.0, which we haven't seen yet. So we'll see how that works out. Is a 3090 for 1200 a good deal? If you were looking for a 3090 to begin with, yes. If you're buying it for game, no. Although I might buy that just to sell it for 1500. Or if you're nice, you could sell it for like 1400. Like it's a
That's
good deal, as
crazy.
in like it's cheaper than it normally is. So that's by definition a good deal. But like, if you
I
don't need
wouldn't
it,
want to
then
be a
it's
scalper.
yeah.
That makes me feel like the problem in itself.
Wait, Natty or not? Are you? Is that Illuminati? Like that Natty, or is that a different Natty? I hate that streaming kills my 7700K because I got like 1,000 plus followers, and even then I can't stream new games like Wildlands because my CPU just dies even using NVENC. That's whack. Yeah, I would maybe invest in a 20 series card and step up when you have the time.
Does that-
1660
does it-
Super and later? You
sorry.
mean 1650 Super and later? Because the 1650 has Volta NVENC. The 1650 Super has Turing NVENC. Yeah. Also, some 1650s actually have Turing NVENC, but they're kind of rare.
Does the 3080 match up well with the new Ryzen processors?
I mean, assuming a 3080 is appropriate for what you're doing in general, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's kind of weird because if you're buying a 3080, you should be playing at 1440p, and if you're playing at 1440p, you don't really need a 5600X. You could get by with a 3600 pretty easily. So it's kind of weird. It's like the more you spend on your GPU, the less you spend on your CPU. It's kind of weird.
I was just curious if it worked pretty well with the new processors.
Yeah, it's
Like the new-
it's fine.
Yeah.
Who is in your call with you? All of these people.
Hi gamers.
Hello, gamers. Hello. But I do have 3060, 3080, 3090 on my wish list, lol. Who isn't? Yeah. I guess 3060 would be a good idea. If you bought a 2060 right now, I guarantee you the 3060 is going to come out before the step-up period expires. So you could do 2060 and then like pay basically nothing for a 3060 to step up. Because I think 3060 is going to be like 350 maybe. So like you buy 2060 for like 300 and then you pay 50 more for a 3060 when it comes out. What's a good SSD? For what? And for what budget? And what use case? Wait, I already said for what. For what price? For what budget? For what size? What country? Hi Ben, how's the extra live stream going?
Yeah, AG's playing League.
Ew, League. Okay, I don't want to join anymore. Step Up? Is that some American program? I'm too Australian to under.
We're gonna
You
play
poor
no
soul.
more Room in Hell later.
Wait, can we play Overwatch
That might work.
on the extra live stream?
No.
Why?
No.
Dude, the people who are watching the charity stream, they're gonna donate so much when they see your dominant Bastion play, dude.
Like,
Dude, oh my god, it's gonna be
download
amazing.
No more Time in Hell or no more something in
No,
Hell.
no, I'll play tank. You play Bastion, and when they see you fragging out, dude, they're gonna be like, "Holy shit, this guy's a god gamer. I gotta donate." Trust me, dude. You poor soul, says the one with Trump versus Biden and armed right. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I'm Canadian, dude. I'm Canadian. Even when I was living in America, you know, like I didn't feel like I was personally like super affected, you know? Like, yeah, being in the upper middle class bubble has its benefits, you know? You can kind of look at politics as like as entertainment rather than something that actually affects your life negatively. And that being said, I try my best to be politically conscious, but a lot of upper middle class people like me can afford not to. Australians and Canadians are the same, eh? I guess we both have shit prices. We both are I don't know,
Second class citizens.
second class citizens. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Also, is the 3090 the best streaming and content creating GPU out right now? No, not really. The fact that you say streaming and content creating makes me think that you're doing like YouTube, so like video editing and streaming. In that case, the 3090 is just nonsensical. No. 3080
It's
is
the
good.
best, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah, but it's different from like, okay, I want to make this clear. People always ask me like, you know, is the 3090 like the 2080 Ti? Because you guys said the 2080 Ti
No.
wasn't a good value GPU, but it's still like good, right? Well, like it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. I want to make it very clear. So the 2080 Ti, it's very expensive, right? But it wasn't $1,500 first of all, and so it was like $1,200. It was only like $500-ish more than the next GPU, whereas the 3090 is $800 more than the next GPU. And on top of that, the 2080 Ti was dominant. Like it was there's no GPU that could touch the 2080 Ti or even come close. Like the next best GPU at the time of its launch, the 2080, was noticeably worse than the 2080 Ti. Whereas you have the 3090 and 3080, there's no noticeable difference between those two GPUs in content creation or streaming, because there's no content creation workload typically that needs more than 10 gigabytes of fast VRAM, and streaming that has like very little to do with the 3080 and 3090 difference. So that too is not noticeable. So, you know, you could say the 2080 Ti would be the best streaming content creating gaming GPU at the time because it is noticeably better than the 2080. But here, the 3090 is not noticeably better than the 3080.
Do you think people with OG 2070 should upgrade?
If you're struggling in games, which you're probably not, no. I mean, yes, but if you're not struggling, which you... Fuck, I mixed up my words. Anyways, if you're not struggling in games...
Come on, egg.
If you're not struggling in games, then don't upgrade. Look, upgrades are easy, okay? All you have to do is... Watch this. You close your eyes, you don't look... Like, if you're a regular person and you have, like, a system... Don't look at the tech news. Don't get caught in the hype, because that makes people horny, okay? When you're horny for new parts, people will buy literally whatever, okay? Like, I literally tell people, like, okay, you have like an 8700K 1080 Ti, and you're fine in games. Like, just ignore the tech news. And then, like, a week later, they come back, they're like, oh, yo, I bought a 3070, and, you know, like, I heard it was really good. And I'm like, oh, my God.
But what if you're not fine in
look,
games
it's this
like
simple.
me, where I struggle to run Among Us?
It's this easy, all right? So you have a system, already. You want to know, when do I upgrade? Ignore the tech news. When you're like, oh, you know, I kind of want to play this new game, but like my system, it's kind of struggling, or like, you know, I want to start streaming, or I want to start video editing, and I need more stuff, right? When you get to the point where you're like, I need more stuff, then you look at tech news, see, okay, what's the most recent stuff? Maybe should I wait a little longer? Should I buy right now? That's when you look at the tech news and get hyped. But like, people always do it the other way around, you know? They do look at the tech news, get hyped, and then buy shit that you don't actually like. You're fine, you know? I'll see you later. Bye. I love you. I love you too. Then why would people buy the 3090 and why did they release it? Because people
are fucking idiots and there is content that needs it.
Because people are like you. They ask the same question and they don't always have the resources that you do. Like, you know, people to tell them not to buy the 3090. So then they buy the 3090. And why did they release it? Because it's a high margin product. Yeah. It's like, why does McDonald's release the Travis Scott burger? Because it makes them money, you know? Should you buy the Travis Scott burger? I don't know. I've never tried that shit. Is it good? I don't know.
It's literally a quarter pounder with bacon. That's it.
Oh, that sounds decent. Okay. Is it more expensive though?
It was pretty good.
Is it like really expensive or no? Like, is it more expensive than a normal quarter pounder, or did they just like have it at the same price?
No, it was a bundle. It was $6.50 for it, fries, and a drink.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay. So, but yeah, it's not like the 3090 then, where it's like, you know, instead of paying $6 for a burger, they make you pay $12 and it's like the same burger.
Are you min-maxing a burger now?
Yeah.
For min-maxing burgers.
I don't know, $6.50 for like fries, drink, and a burger. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Aegis, what do I do when I struggle to run a game from near 20 years ago at over 50 FPS on the lowest settings?
Yeah, then you upgrade.
Your fucking
it's either the game's fault or it's your fault then. So yeah.
No. Oh, well, I mean, the game is very demanding.
So yeah, the 3090. A lot of people blame the 3090. They're like, oh, it's not a proper Titan card. It doesn't have Titan drivers, or like, oh, it's not really good at gaming. But the only problem I have with the 3090 is NVIDIA has kind of manipulative marketing where they say, oh, it's good for 8K gaming. Like the 3090, the 3090, they tried to market it like the 2080 Ti. They tried to market it like a gaming card. Like how AMD marketed the Radeon 7 as a gaming card when it's clearly not a gaming card, and neither is the 3090. If NVIDIA had said, hey, you know, if this is for all you content creators out there that want a lot of VRAM but don't care about Titan class drivers, we've made a new segment for you, because that's essentially what they did. It's basically, hey, are you somebody who needs more than 10 gigs of VRAM or 11 gigs of VRAM, and you don't want to pay, you know, enough to buy like a Titan RTX, which is like $2,500 and not $1,500, then this is the card for you. And if you don't care about Titan drivers and you don't care about increased compute performance, unlocked compute, then, you know, this is the drive for you, or this is the GPU for you. If they'd said that, I would have been completely fine. This is actually a good move on NVIDIA's part. The 3090, don't make a mistake. The 3090 is actually a good GPU because for people that wanted a lot of VRAM, you would need to pay a lot for a Titan card to get that VRAM. But now Nvidia has like a pretty cheap option. But yeah, they said it's a gaming card, which is the problem.
The one thing I don't get, why were SLI and Crossfire killed off like
developer support and also developer support. Yeah, developer support.
developer support?
Also, the main thing is, also the 3090 may not even be a good option for that VRAM argument because like the fucking 6800 has 16 gigs of VRAM. So I don't know. I really don't know. Can a 1030 run Modern Warfare? Pretty shittily, yeah, it can. Do you know if it's possible to get rid of a motherboard's BIOS splash screen? You can change the post delay to like 0 seconds. Like almost every BIOS I've ever been in has an option for post delay, which is like how long the BIOS splash screen stays up for you to like press delete or whatever. You can change it to like 0 seconds, and I think it's basically instant. Yeah. It shows Republic of Gamers, and I was wondering if I could change it somehow with like a Windows logo. I'm pretty sure you can get it to like hide the logo on startup. I think there is an option for that in the BIOS. What do I do when I struggle to run a game? Okay, I have a B550i Aorus Pro AX. Yeah, a very good motherboard.
BIOS, I know you RAM overclock, so is Gigabyte BIOS really that bad?
I don't think it's bad. It's functional. It's not good as Asus BIOS though. And also
Alright.
I honestly can't speak from honest experience because I'm running a CPU that is technically officially unsupported on this board, so that might be causing the problems. Yeah. Like literally on my motherboard box, it says does not support Picasso bracket 3200G and 3400G APUs, and I'm using a 3400G in it, so that might be why some of the features are being wonky and why it's like booting really weirdly, but like I don't care, it works, so I'll take it.
Hey, it works, guys.
Yeah, it's just a stand-in until I get Ryzen 5000 really.
I thought you were getting Renoir.
I was gonna get Renoir, but Lisa fucking just hates North America, so no 3300X and no Renoir for North America, lol.
When are we gonna get the 3500X?
We've already gotten that in systems. Like the 3500X is popular in like India and countries in that region, and also OEM. But for us, it's not really. Yeah. That's like when are we getting the Ryzen 5 1500? Like or the Ryzen 5 2500? Like those CPUs existed, but like they weren't available.
So yeah. Dr. Spaceman says I have 3200 C16 Micron E die. Will it serve me to OC it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you have the time, you have the patience for it. Memory overclocking, especially if you play esports type games, low settings, max FPS, it will help you a lot. It will be noticeably helpful. But be aware, it is time consuming. It's a pain in the ass. On my old PC, I was pretty impressed with the driver updates with my 560 because on DX12 over years the performance has been getting better. I mean, that's generally how driver updates work. Yeah, over time the performance get better. Yeah. Also, Natty, are you Illuminati or not? Like, oh, not you. Okay, you're a different person then. Okay. Fine Wine Technology. I mean, NVIDIA driver updates improve their performance anyways too. Like the 2080 has been getting better since, like that's the one example I can think of. It's been getting better since launch. Overwhelming, yeah. It is. Why are the open source NVIDIA drivers so ass? Because they're not actually NVIDIA's. Yeah. NVIDIA's drivers are proprietary for Linux. Yeah, the open source ones are made by other people, I think. Thoughts on the 3070 only having 8 gigs of VRAM? I really don't care, and you shouldn't either.
Bro, the 580 only has 8 gigs of VRAM, but it's still hard.
Oh no.
Bro,
how do you overclock my GPU and does it make my PC hotter? Good question. Actually, I should set up a scene on OBS that's like just for my desktop. 1 second. I'll do that for you. Desktop. Oh fuck. Hold on. Let me add a display capture. Yeah, let's call it desktop. Sorry that stream is like right now. Desktop display. I'll call it that. Okay. Capture cursor as well. Okay. So if I minimize Discord here, minimize that, and minimize that. So you can use a program called MSI Afterburner to what the fuck? Okay, yeah. Afterburner will not look like this when you install it. I've just changed it because I like this UI better. You can change it in the user interface settings, I think. Yeah. The default one is like one of the dragon ones. I don't remember. It's like the gray one. But you can use this to do some decent overclocking. You can use sliders, or you can what the fuck? Where's the shit? I don't remember where it is on this. Oh no, it's because I'm using, sorry, it's not actually available on this because I'm using a 3400G, so you can actually use Afterburner to overclock it. But if you had a normal like NVIDIA GPU, you'd be using this. Yeah, that's basically it. If you want overclocking tutorials for like 3000 series, it's a little different, so I would go look on YouTube for that. If you're on an AMD GPU, you'd be using AMD's Radeon software, so like that would be this. Oh shit, hold on, wrong display. You'd be using this guy, right? So you go to like where is it? I think it's in home. I don't remember where it is for like the 3400G. I have an update available. I'm not gonna use that. Where the fuck is it? Is it here? No. I don't know where it is for my APU. I think it's like it's somewhere around here. No, not this one. Advanced maybe? There's like a place where you can overclock your shit. I just like don't remember where it is. Fuck, okay, whatever. But my point is, yeah, you can use AMD Radeon software, and there's there's tutorials online for that as well. So there you go. You think you could OC RAM to 3600 on an A320 board? Depends on the board. Yeah, it depends on the board. Some boards are better than others. Not all boards are equal. Hold on, let me add my alert box to my thingy. Alert box, okay. Put it in the middle. Add the chat box as well. 1 second. Browser, add existing chat box. We'll put that guy right over here in the corner. Okay, back to Discord. All right, there we go. Why didn't we get Vega refresh? I mean, we kind of did. The Radeon 7 was supposed to be like that. Yeah. Like Vega 2 or whatever. Why didn't we get Polaris++? I don't know. Ask AMD. Because AMD didn't want to go the way of Skylake. Also, I want to install 3 more fans, but I don't know if my case supports it. How do I figure that out? Okay, I'll show you.
You
All
take
right.
a picture of your case and you put it in voice chat text.
By far, the easiest way to find fan specs for a case is Newegg. So, I don't know, look up like, let's look at the P400A, for example.
Fucking case.
P400A. All right, you can also look at your manual, but I just prefer doing this. Go to specs, right? It's fucking, I hate how Newegg like loads things while you're clicking, and then when you click, it like makes you click on other shit. It's really annoying. But anyways, dumb web design. But anyways, yeah, you go to cooling system, and you can see here, front 3120 or 2140, top 2120 or 2140, rear 120. Very simple. I have a Mustex case. Okay, well look it up. Go. You can also go to their website. So like, you know, Vantex P400A. Go here. And you go to specs. And why is it not here? Do they not list cooling? That's stupid. I guess it's in the manual then. Oh my god. Is there a thing around here that tells you? Oh, it kind of tells you some of the fan stuff here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, cooling support. Like you can, this is basically on like every website for cases. Yeah, there you go. Front, rear, top, front. That's all there. Good stuff. Said front twice. Ah, okay. You gotta scroll more? Yeah, that's why. There's an infographic. Yeah, there you go. All right, boys. Well, today has been a fun stream. What's Alderin?
You gaming with us?
Yep. In a little bit. I'm gonna eat first though, because I'm like really hungry. Oh my god, Alderin, I'm so sorry. Like you're the guy from earlier, right? Like I didn't see your message, and like I'm actually stupid. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry I missed your message like 3 times. If you come tomorrow, I can go over your list. Yeah. Okay. Live dashboard. Aegis PFP refresh when? I have another version of my PFP that's like light mode version. So maybe I'll do that one day as a joke. All right, boys. Well, today has been a nice stream. I hope you guys.
Can you help me out real quick? What
do you need help with?
Alright, so whenever I'm like in Discord and I'm like on a call with my friends, I go in a game, like everything cuts out, like all the audio.
Head over to the troubleshooting channel and ask them for help.
Wait, what?
You're
Who's tagging
maxing
me
your
in
CPU.
Mills help red here.
Aegis, you don't know how to do this?
You're maxing your CPU. Put a frame cap in.
Don't do troubleshooting.
I'm maxing on my CPU.
Yep, you need to put a frame cap in so you don't do that.
So I need to count my frames.
Yep.
In the game?
Yep.
So to cap it to like my monitor is refreshing. Yep. All right, bro. Thank you.
Your $600 bill.
Yeah, it just doesn't do stuff that requires hardware.
Yeah, no. Unbelievable.
Will you still be a guy on a budget if you get
Once you get Vermeer? Look, people can get Vermeer on a budget, okay? It's not a big deal. Relax yourself, okay? Is there a $600 PC you recommend? Kythern, I'm pretty sure I told you to like come back later, okay? When people, okay, I tell people like, yo, can you come back in like a couple weeks? And they're like, okay, I'll come back in a couple weeks. And then tomorrow they come back to me and they're like, okay, you told me to come back.
It's been a couple of weeks.
It's like one day is not a couple weeks.
Bro, I told someone to come back in November. They came back in November. I told them to come back in November.
Yeah, I say mid-November and people just came to me like November 1st.
Yep, now give me a list. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, hi, Saad. How you doing?
Death.
All right, nerds.
Yesterday.
Hold on.
What happened?
I'm gonna end stream for now. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm really hungry though. Like my stomach is literally like it's like hollow right now. So I'm gonna go eat food after this. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I don't know, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Yeah. Bye bye. I'll see you tomorrow.